Welcome everyone. I'm the creator of Advanced Planning Analytics, Cesar Ramos, and the past few days I've posted videos on how to build an Excel Gantt chart utilizing graphs, charts, if you will. And I've had quite a few questions on adding milestones and such to this graph, which the answer is yes, there is a ways. It takes additional steps, and the process to put it together is slightly different. It's not harder, it's just different with more steps. So before I give any of that instructional advice, I wanted to present another option, which is using Visual Basics. So Visual Basics for applications, VBA, is a programming language that is integrated into Microsoft Excel. And it allows users to automate tasks, right? And usually we associate it with macros or things of that nature. So what I want to present to you is another option for a Gantt, and that's without presenting any need for insertion of any charts. So we're basically using shapes and a timeline. So to quickly describe the chart, I've basically inserted shapes such as this and prepared them so to where they looked aesthetically pleasing, I guess you could say. And then I positioned them at this point in time next to a correlating activity. So if I back up a bit, I'll show you this Gantt, which is basically an extract of Primavera, my schedule. So I used the same data and copy and pasted it into my Excel sheet, as you can see here. I only needed this so I could extract the text files, the text data, and take the start and finish dates for each activity. So this is my activity ID, name, percent complete, which I have blank, duration, start and finish. So on my tab that has information here, info, is where I place my columns and rows and paste in the data as text. So the Visual Basics is picking up from this page this criteria, and it's searching for these IDs here. So if I go to my Gantt, I've added a correlating activity, and if you notice on the milestones up here, I've added the activity ID name. So the Visual Basics is looking through tab info for that ID so that it can position itself in this timeline here. Now, even though I have this placed in these columns, I don't really need this information here. I only have it here so that it emulates what a Gantt out of a Primavera or other scheduling softwares would look like. In reality, the Visual Basics is looking into the info tab for data. Okay. Then I did the same thing with the summary bars, except I named it process so that it knew to go find process here and then find these dates. Inserted the bars myself, and I positioned them next to the words or the task names so that they match up. Currently, the Visual Basics that I have here only position it within the timeline horizontally. There is, and I do have other very complex Excels that I've built and researched that actually take the position and the size of the shape and can change the shape, all done with macros and Visual Basics. But for this example here, this is as simple as we can get it. That's why I call it simple Gantt. And as long as you insert your bars here and you insert your in your name box the correlating activity ID or whatever you want to title it, the function will work. So as an example, I'm going to take these dates and I'm just going to copy them down in one shot. So everything now basically is a 1 day activity. So when I run my macro, you'll see all my bars just lined up onto the same date, including my milestones. This is just so you'll get an idea. And let me unhide my row. I've prepared this so that I could reverse my dates back in and copy and paste them based on the schedule. So I'm putting my dates back, and then I can run the simple Gantt again, and now all my bars are positioned as they were before. Now what I have done is these logic lines, I inserted them and I tied them in there, so they're gonna scoot around in movement with the bars themselves. So they currently don't have any Visual Basic intelligence other than they're associated with the bars that I've linked them to, but they resemble or they emulate logic lines, right? So imagine, if you will, you're building an executive level 1 schedule, and you may or may not have access to a scheduling software, and now you have to maintain and update this schedule every week, every 2 weeks, and it could be somewhat laborious. So it takes some time to put these bars in and code them one time, but then after that you can take this data and you can basically just paste in your dates or manually update them, your list, and as long as that's done, the macros will do the rest, right? So you go in, you get an update, you copy and paste in from your schedule or vendor documents or wherever your dates come from, construction or progress, and then as long as you hit your macro, the Gantt will work. So this will conclude my video. I would explain the how the macros work. However, that could take quite a bit of while. So at this point in time, this presentation is taking an assumption that there's an understanding of how VBA works and the coding involved, and the techniques involved to do this. But if you have any questions, feel free to contact me. I'll leave the video and contact information on my website. And again, thank you for your time. Have a great day.